Oh. Hey, so I totally forgot to call you before we left. We're in the air. We've probably been flying for about 10, 15 minutes. So we'll be there in about 45. Okay, see you then. What? Atlantic Aviation. See you soon.
Lean this to about 9.
So how do I know where to lean it to?
Okay, so let's say we richen it. So start unscrewing it, listen to it, and watch this. I'll show you 2 different ways. So as soon as you see that bobble, keep going, keep going. See it? Do 2 half screws in. Remember, that will kill the engine. Do 2 half screws in. Okay, there's one way to do it. Okay, so move this little, here's the finer lead. Okay, see the white needle? So let's richen it up. Okay, see the EGT, see how it gets cold? So down is cold. Those are 25-degree lines. Okay. So start leaning it and listen to it. Okay. And as soon as it sort of like bobbles, just stop. Because you will kill an engine. Okay, keep going, keep going. There we go. Now stop. Okay. Look at the thing. Now richen it like 50 degrees. So do 2 half screws in. Okay. And see the EGT. So what you can do is when it's stopped, you put this here, and then you go, okay, I want it 50 degrees rich of peak. So that's max lean. 50 degrees rich of peak is a pretty good lean there. So 25 degrees would be like if you're ranging it. Of course, it'll run hotter, you know, if you want less fuel. Then 50 degrees, I think 75 is what the book says max power. Okay. So you're leaning based on an exhaust gas temperature for max lean, max power, max rich. So that's a real fine way to lean. Gotcha, okay. Okay, so that's it. But that's the simple way. So there's Paso. Yep. And so watch what this does. So basically you don't really want to chase a needle right at this point. Okay. Because we're in its cone of confusion, remember, ambiguity. Yep. So just watch what it does. We'll let it cross, then we'll turn to our new heading, and which is what, 079? Yep. Okay. And we'll fly outbound on the 079. So usually what the picture does, what you're really doing on VOR flying is, here's a VOR, you're flying this course, you cross it, then you turn back to your new course. See that? So you really, if you let a full flip happen, you really passed it, right? So when you turn, you'll have to turn like 089 to get this heading, to re-intercept. Okay. So you really are doing this kind of move. So if that's the VOR, you cross it, turn to your new heading. So if you turn 079, you would never be on the radial. You would only be paralleling. So you have to know when I'm close. So look at, we're within 3 miles and we're getting same ambiguity. You're a little off course. We could just set this. So it kind of makes sense here. But it'll eventually do this. You don't chase it. You just go, okay, I'm close. I'm going to fly ahead until it flips. Because as it gets into ambiguity range, you'll see it'll go full out. And if you were chasing it, well, you'd be pointed that way. You want to be pointed north, right? You want to be pointed that heading. So you just have to know. That's reading these is really subtle. See what it's doing? Right. And we're really not changing our course, right? So it's just because of the radio we're on top of it. Okay. I call it the cone of confusion, where it's, so you know, just fly heading and don't fly the needle at when you're within a mile, 2 miles, actually 2 miles of the VOR. Okay. This is actually set to the airport, so not the VOR. Gotcha. They could be 2 different places by a few hundred feet. Yeah. But we're flying the radio. Just using that as a reference, going, yeah, we're not lost, we're at Paso. So watch what it does the whole cycle.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So just watch what it does, because if you look away for a second, it'll flip, and then you'll see, you go, oh, I missed it. Keep your original north heading. See how it's looking? So right now, if you're only using radio nav with that VOR, you go, okay, I'm right on top of the VOR. I'll flip to a from. So reach up, wait till it flips, reach up, 079. If you were in a jet, they'd move faster, right? These things would really swing. Okay, turn, 079. And turn. So we really have to overshoot like this. So like turn 090 until the needle centers, then go back to 079.
Okay.
Because we're really past the 079 radio. We come back to it. It's slightly over here. Try to get your altitude. But those little nuances, without, in the old days, without this stuff, you know where you are by looking at the map. Well, I just flipped. I'm right here, turning to a heading like this. So you never are lost.
Gotcha.
And then let's hold 090 for a while. And the wind should help us this time. That needle should come in. And we are on a correct VFR altitude rate. We're heading easterly heading, so we're odd plus 500.
Odd plus 5, yep.
That was your course on your flight plan, right?
Yeah, yes.
079, yeah.
A 7-8, but close enough.
Yeah.
Centurion 84905 Mike, contact.
Nav 1's alive.
Okay, Nav 1's alive.
1264795 Mike.
Oakland Center, Skylane 756 Alpha Lima, level 10,500. Over.
Easy, look at that.
November 756 Alpha Lima, Oakland Center, the Lemoore altimeter, 3005.
05 at Lemoore, 6 Alpha Lima.
Couldn't get a better example day with there's so little wind that these make sense. When it's really windy, it's hard, new students, because of this, it's such a big correction.
Gotcha.
November 756 Alpha Lima, I show an area of moderate precipitation, 12 o'clock, 4 miles. Area appears to be approximately 4 miles in diameter. Do you see anything out there?
Negative, 6 Alpha Lima, we don't see anything on the screen, and visibility unrestricted, over.
Wow.
November 6 Alpha Lima, roger.
What do they see? That's a UFO, dude. It's not, that's not a cloud.
No precipitation. UFO.
I don't know what that is. Isn't that funny? So, see how he's verifying, trying to verify what is a pilot report.
Yeah.
Actually seeing what the radar guy's seeing on the ground. And so there, and obviously it was a guy who had radar in his plane too, because he said nothing on the scope and
Gotcha.
severe clear. He didn't say those words, but he said unrestricted visibility.
Yeah. Let's swing in that way, so I need to get it over there.
Yeah, just pick a new heading and turn it. So you don't want to wander around, you just want to pick a new heading, right? A correction.
Gotcha.
And I always start with the thickness of the heading.
Skyhawk 951 Tango Alpha, contact LA Center 119.05.
119.05.
119.05, 1 Tango Alpha.
Okay. Gotta listen to this.
So we're LA Center?
Yeah, Los Angeles Center, Cessna 951 Tango Alpha level 5,500. Push it down. Get to 5,500. Go ahead, talk.
LA Center, Cessna 951 Tango Alpha, level at 5,500.
Number 951 Tango Alpha, Los Angeles Center, good morning. Do you sound this about number 3002?
3002.
3002, 1 Tango Alpha.
You're not hearing today.
What's 300 at 2? Oh, the wind.
3002.
LA Center.
No.
Oh, 3002.
No, yeah, they always give you an altimeter set. In other words, everybody he's controlling has the same altimeter set. So this is what's important, not where we really are. I mean, that's... It really has nothing to do with this, right? It has to do with barometric pressure this controller's using. That way everybody's separated vertically by that same number.
Okay.
And what we want to set up, now he'll hand us off to Bakersfield approach. So when he hands us off, we want to already have 8. So when he hands us off to Bakersfield approach, you'll say Bakersfield approach, Cessna 951 Tango Alpha level 5,500 with information Bravo.
Okay.
For Bakersfield. So tune in. We can't. You have to tune in number 1 because we can't leave him.
Okay.
So you got to put it in there.
Out of 15 now.
And then we'll wait a little while and see if we can see it. You can see if you hear it now. I doubt we get it.
San Diego, Santa Monica.
Yeah, you get it. So let's see. Yeah, it won't change. So
weather information for California and coastal waters available on the high watch, light watch, or flight service frequencies. Notice Darman, runway 30 left, Papi out of service. Runway 12 right, Papi out of service. Advise on initial contact. You have whiskey.
We have whiskey for Bakersfield.
Information whiskey 1454 Zulu, wind calm. The weather's better than 5005. Temperature 18, dew point 4, altimeter 3005. ILS and visual approach in use. Landing runways 30. Flow control to Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Diego, Santa Monica, San Jose area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hazardous.
Gotta stay on him. So to make sure we haven't screwed up, you never leave radar services. Think of that. I mean, and if you can, but you just tell them. Like if, let's say we're flying a plane with one radio.
Command 217 Papa looking.
Why don't we get up over this past Avenal here, and then we'll go direct to EHF. And we'll just change it to EHF. So that's the simplest way to use a VOR. So you saw how we intercepted it, we crossed it, changed the heading, and went from. So we're just flying outbound on the, if you drew a line, right, 079, which is that 9? And right there. Yeah. We're right here. And this is tuned to Paso, so we know we're 14 miles away.
Okay.
So if you had a plotter, you can go, I'm right there, 14 miles.
Gotcha.
So a little bit GPS usage, let's tune it to Bakersfield, because it's kind of nice to know how far away you are, especially when you make that first call to Bakersfield. You go, yeah, we're about 14 miles to the west.
Hold it.
Go nearest.
Oh, okay.
Nearest. Pull it out. I'll show you 2 different ways. No. Nearest. Pull it out, and then scroll through the nearest airport. Oh, you have to hit enter, sorry. And now pull it out, scroll. Might not be in there. Our heading looks good.
Huh, nope.
Okay, so here's another way. So remember, this will only give you the nearest. You could read the spec on it, like the 10 airports within the nearest. So just hit direct. Okay, this is cursor, this is letters. This is cursor, this is letters. So see how, so spin it. Okay, spell K, BFL. Move it 1, B.
Is it trying to help me? Is that why?
Yes.
It's, okay.
Right. It'll once you get BF in there, it'll probably give it to you because it's close. No, it doesn't help you that much, does it? Doesn't like you that much. There you go, and then just hit direct enter. Enter. So you want to read it? Okay, now we have a line directly to Bakersfield, and if we zoom out here, we can see the airport. So it looks like we're on a pretty good heading.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to keep us there. Then if you wanted to make that needle fly that line, you just do that. Now we're on that line. Now we're flying that needle GPS mode.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, let's go. We're moving. Let's go EHF, just for practice. So use the sectional. No, it's got to be right there.
That's it's just right here.
It's not down. I don't have it folded good. The problem is when you write stuff down, you could have it wrong.
That's true.
You could write it wrong and go, oh shit. And so to just pull this out and go, okay, good, I got it. So that's what you're tuning.
Okay.
Tune, ident, twist, then steer to that new heading.
We're doing on nav 1?
Yeah, we'll just go direct to it. The simplest way to use a VOR is just fly direct to them.
Okay.
So we kind of are expanding your knowledge of all 3 or 4 different ways to use a VOR. Flying to, from, intercepting. And you just center the needle. And if you think logically, it should be an easterly heading. Right?
Yeah.
So center it the other way. Okay? Now just reach over there, move the bug, it's really there, and then turn to that heading, which is you're there.
Okay.
Right. Normally, if it would be over there, we just go for it. So it's tune, ident, twist, then steer, which you didn't ident.
30.
Arizona, Washington.
Okay, what do we hear in the background? We're waiting for the ident.
Moderate turbulence.
We hear the hazard stuff with the H.
And flight level 410.
So that was it. So that's HIWAS, Hazardous In-Weather Advisory Service. So you could listen to that. They said there was some moderate turbulence somewhere. Let's listen to that.
180. AirNet Sierra, update 2, valid until 2100 Zulu. IFR conditions for California and coastal waters. Ceilings below 1,000, visibility below 3 miles, mist. Pilot weather reports are requested. Contact Flight Watch or Flight Service as appropriate for additional details. Hazardous weather within a 150 nautical mile radius of the Shafter and Daggett VORs recorded at 1440 Zulu. AirMet Tango, update 2, valid until 2100 Zulu. Turbulence for Nevada, Utah, Arizona, California, and coastal waters. Moderate turbulence below 14,000. AirMet Tango, update 2, valid until 2100 Zulu. Turbulence for Idaho.
They're expecting turbulence, I think, later today.
Ah, okay.
You couldn't get smoother than this.
No.
But see this haze and shit in here? That's why. I mean, if it was clear, it'd be rough.
Gotcha.
So we got 54 miles to Bakersfield.
Okay. Yep.
And there's your heading as far as the GPS, but we're flying to Shafter, which is slightly, let's zoom in, slightly to the, no, he'll hand us off to Bakersfield. You got Bakersfield approaching there?
I do. That's coming from the north.
Why don't you put it in? Sometimes they give you a different number though, but you can just sort of anticipate his handoff since there's so much time here. Now if there's any traffic, we'd hear he'd say, Cessna 1 Tango Alpha, there's traffic at 12 o'clock, 1,000 feet above the opposite direction of Bonanza. And,
gotcha.
then your response is, 1 Tango Alpha looking for traffic. And then if you see the traffic, you say Santa Barbara, Bakersfield, Los Angeles Center, 1 Tango Alpha, we have the traffic in sight. That's the verbiage. Usually hear them tell you and the other plane. But it's really busy today. The world is yours when you own an airplane.
Yeah. That's what I was saying all weekend. I'm like, I need to just go buy an airplane.
Nobody wants that much pain. Rent them for a while, and then save your money and buy something that's pretty nice, new. My opinion is not to get a 40-year-old airplane. You'll just throw money at it every month.
Gotcha.
It's like, or you'll be flying in something that's like kind of just, I think you're better off. If I got another one, I'd get another new one like that. Low time, low airframe time, low engine time. And it has cool stuff.
Yeah. What is your definition of low time? Because I mean, this has 1,100 hours. Okay.
Yeah. 1,000 hours is low time.
Okay.
It's like barely broke in.
Gotcha.
Remember, my other plane has 6,000 hours, so it's 40 years old.
Gotcha.
Okay. Give us another 5 degrees. This way, Shafter. If we fly to Shafter, it'll kind of put us in a. So we won't go all the way to it because that's past the runway.
Yeah.
So we want to know that if we go to the VOR and see a flip, well, we've passed it. We're screwed up. So we want to really enter on a 45 downwind base final for 30.
Okay.
And it's left traffic for 30. He'll hand us off though. So always want to make sure you haven't accidentally flipped the radio and lost these guys. They're calling you and going, "Oh, those bastards."
Gotcha.
They do get upset. It'll be Bakersfield approach, then Bakersfield Tower. We can put Bakersfield Tower down here. And we have whiskey.
Morning, Sky 647. Affirmative, 3455, we'll see you.
Should be a runway right there, right in front of us. So you can see, look how many runways.
Yeah.
There are.
Huh, I don't see a runway.
That's probably 10 miles. What's this rig? Where did it say the rig? Yeah, 40. So that's 40.
Okay.
So that's probably 20. So it is pretty far away. Looks good. We're dead on course to Shafter. So see how it's really about headings? Flying an airplane is heading and altitude. If you master headings and altitude, that's 90% of the battle.
Gotcha.
It's not this wandering around, because the wandering around is efficient. Instead of a straight line, everything's straight lines. If you're doing this, well, think of how much farther you had to go. And then just straight, straight.
Yeah.
Climb, straight. Everything straight lines, and then it's very efficient. If you're wandering around, well, now you're like being on the road. Yeah. That's what we're trying to avoid. Gauges in the green. Low oil pressure. Yep. Temperature's right between 150 and 200. Fuel flow's at 9. And volts 28. On it just about 27, 28. Usually with the volts. And your lights are off. That's why it's showing 28. Or were they just on?
They were just on. Yeah, I never did the L check.
Yeah. Always want to do a climb out check and then a cruise check. That way, if you forgot something in your climb out check, oh, you go, shit, that's why we're going so slow.
Bakersfield altimeter 3005.
Is that us?
3005, one tango off. 3005. So he's either saying you're not at your altitude. But looks good to me here. Let's go Barrow. Altitude. Change it to altitude twice. Let's get to our altitude. And I don't think he handed us off.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, he just said he's getting us ready for the handoff is what he's doing. And unless it's Los Angeles Center all the way to Bakersfield, and no Bakersfield approach today, so who knows. This is low, though. Sometimes that happens when you're really high. So the last controlling agency, as far as approaches or centers, you always tell them you have ATIS for that airport.
Okay.
And sometimes that's hard because you don't know that's, you know, you're not from the area, you don't know that's the last controlling agency. So usually it's Bakersfield approach will be the last controlling agency. Yeah, we're still 40 away. Okay, where is this L84? You see it over here?
Not unless it's like that little thing, but that's going the wrong direction. It's